Hi guys and welcome back to my channel. My fringe is going to annoy me for the entire, it's already annoying me. It's going to annoy me for the rest of this video. So for today's video, I thought we could do a little Reddit one. Re-look at the subreddit glitch in the Matrix, check out the top posts of the last month, talk about that really. Have a little bit of a spooky. Is it spooky? Is it not all bullshit? That's what we're going to find out today. Play a game of, is this bullshit or not? This would have been good to do during the Halloween month, but I didn't do anything for Halloween, annoyingly. But before we get into that, I just want you guys to know that this video is sponsored by best friend of the Alizee channel, Raid Shadow Legends. Friendship with Fallout New Vegas has ended. Raid Shadow Legends is my best friend now. Fun fact. There are 7.5 billion people alive right now on this earth who could be playing Raid Shadow Legends. Even babies if their thumbs were strong enough. But tens of millions of those people already are, and let me tell you why. One game. Two ways to play. My favourite thing about this game is that you can play it on both mobile and desktop. You just can't get away from it wherever you go. Believe me, I've tried. There are 10 challenging dungeons with 10 terrifying bosses, 12 campaign locations, 13 powerful factions, including the ones I like, Legolas from Lord of the Rings, 460 unique champions, over 200,000 active clans, over 25 million players worldwide, with unlimited customization and endless strategies. There's just quadrillions of ways to play Raid Shadow Legends. One of the things I like most about this game is how you can use shards to get rare champions. It's like gambling, but with even more fun and slightly less risk. Playing Raid Shadow Legends is like playing the slots in Las Vegas if Las Vegas was full of elves and trolls. Let's summon a rare champion right now. Look at that, Muckstalker, one of the lizard men, which is my favourite faction for obvious reasons. So, what's new in Raid this month, I hear you all ask? Well, Raid just released the Artifact Forge, where you can save time and craft artifacts directly, as well as a whole new advanced quest system with amazing rewards. But that's not all, they also brought out some amazing new champions, and they're developing the amazing looking Doom Tower as we speak, which I am, as always, so excited about. Go to the video description, click on the special links, and if you're a new player, you will get 50,000 silver, plus 50 gems, plus 1 energy refill, plus 1 clan boss key, plus 5 mystery shards, plus 1 day XP booster, plus 1 free champion, the Hex Weaver. Just removing all the pop-ups, don't worry, they were there before I started playing Raid. My phone is riddled. All this treasure will be waiting for you here. So again, a very big thank you to Raid Shadow Legends for sponsoring today's video, and with that being said, let's get on with it. I think I just became the background character for another person's glitch. This technically happened last night, but I was just starting a graveyard shift, and I'm only now getting it all down. I work at a gas station chain with only numbers in its name. 7-Eleven? Is that a gas station? I don't know, I got that from Bill and Ted. We're just outside of a large chunk of suburbs, none of that middle of nowhere. Like, we aren't exactly near other businesses, but we are rarely completely dead for hours at a time. It was just past midnight, and with everything going on in the US right now, not a lot of things other than gas stations and bars open at night anymore, so it was a slower evening. You still have bars open? Wow. I was the only one in the store, and a car pulled up to one of the 2 double-sided pumps out front. Pretty standard white 4-door. I'm not great with car brands, but it was a little nicer, like upper middle class and probably only a few years old. A woman gets out and starts walking towards our door like she's in a daze. Legit, this woman looks like she saw a ghost. She wanders up, sort of freezes at the door for a second with a 1,000-yard stare before opening it and coming in. She didn't go looking for anything, didn't start shopping, just sort of stood inside for what felt like ages. Again, bars are still open, so I think maybe she's a little drunk or had a rough night or something, so I give the usual, welcome to the gas station, let me know if you need any help finding anything. And she finally notices me and immediately asks the weirdest damn question I've ever been asked on the job. You can see me, right? Yeah. Like, what else do you want me to say? She breaks down crying in the middle of my store, and so I'm already headed around the corner to see what's up. I have my cell phone out in case I need to call the cops or something for her. I get her to sit down on a nearby pallet of soda, and I'm grabbing her a bottle of water, and after she catches her breath a little, she tells me I thought I had died. Again, I'm thinking maybe she is on something, but she's a middle-aged woman who looks like a standard local suburban housewife. Don't be mistaken, middle-aged people totally go on sessions sometimes. We're a pretty boring township without your average junkies like you'd find closer to the cities. So she asks if she can call her husband to pick her up and wait with me. She has her own phone and does so, not really telling him anything either, just where she is at and if he can come get her. He says he'll call an Uber and be there as soon as possible. We're waiting, so far nobody else has shown up, so I'm keeping most of my attention on her, and eventually she starts to explain to me. I was driving home from dinner with my co-workers, and as I'm driving through a nearby intersection I recognised, a truck ran a red light and hit me. Now her car is still at the pump without a scratch on it. She goes on to say she remembers her car being pushed into a pole, going airborne, and then nothing. I tried to calm her down, letting her know that her car is out front and looks fine, but she insisted that she completely blacked out, woke up in an ambulance for a split second, passed out again, and then woke up again in the driver's seat of her car, at the intersection waiting for the lights to change, perfectly fine. This whole thing freaked her out so badly that she drove to the nearest anything, us, just so she could get out of the car. Husband eventually showed up to get her. He asked if I had any idea what happened, and even though she sort of explained it to me, I just shrugged because no, I had no idea what was happening anymore. She reluctantly got in the passenger seat of the car and he drove them back home. That was hours ago, which I worked an entire shift at the station trying to wrap my head around what the absolute hell I just witnessed. Quantum immortality, that poor lady, the truck, and then the ambulance sounds terrible. Quantum immortality sounds fucking horrible. Imagine dying and then waking up and you're still in this place. I feel like I'm too harsh on Earth and humans sometimes. Sometimes it's alright, some people are fun. But on the other hand, if I'm going to die in this life and wake up in another one, I'm going to try somewhere different next time. Somewhere with maybe less drama, which is ironic considering my position. They then keep, in the comments, they keep talking about quantum immortality. I don't want to talk about that because it's too early for an existential crisis today. Who am I kidding? I wake up every morning like, oh God, I'm in this again. Aren't hands weird? Look odd, don't they? Especially mine. Mine are massive. I experienced a glitch where I saw the simulation that we were in. Someone experienced it with me and saw the same thing. We were all completely sober, quick preface. I'm currently driving home from my lunch break, so I'm using Siri to talk. Hopefully this makes sense. Oh. Siri, learn commas better. So back in the summer, we had a huge friend trip to Lake Powell. For anyone that's been there, you know it's absolutely beautiful. Anyway, we were boating through the canyons and going deeper and deeper into the canyons Lake Powell. At one point, I thought in my mind something along the lines of, damn, this place is so beautiful, it almost looks fake or like it was designed to look this way by something. I get that a lot, but I have disassociation. So maybe not the beautiful thing, but sort of interjecting in this story. No one cares about. Sometimes I look at things and think, that's not real, that's gotta be fake. When I first found out about Ed Miliband all those many years ago, I initially did think, I reckon he's CGI. I met him a few times, can confirm he's not CGI, and lovely bloke. Anyway, my American viewers are just like, what the hell is an Ed Miliband? When I started saying that in my mind, a friend turned around to me and said, dude, it feels like we're in a movie and we're looking at movie props, it looks so fake. I turned around and looked and said, dude, what the fuck did you just say? I was thinking the exact same thing. That better not be the whole story. We were both freaking out about it. I mean, maybe... I'm already not convinced by this story. I don't think that's an unusual thought to have if something looks so good it doesn't look real. Sorry, look at me being a naysayer. I thought of doing this video last night, and then when I woke up on Instagram this morning, someone I follow on Instagram put up a post saying, what's your glitch in the matrix is? Like, oh, this is what I've experienced, so... Did the simulation glitch out? We were both freaking out about it, but then it got a little freakier, thank God. We were sitting at the back of the boat looking at our 10 or so friends standing up while the boat was slowly going through the canyons. And as I watched them looking at the scenery, I experienced an altered state of conscience. The best way to describe it is the facade of the human experience was dropped, and all of my friends suddenly looked like gods or angelic beings experiencing Earth and just enjoying the moment. My friends turned to me and said, dude, look at our friends, they're so beautiful and alive, they look like angels. And I knew at that moment we were both experiencing the same thing. Are you sure you didn't take any acid? The best way to describe what we saw is it looked like we placed ourselves in a video game and we're enjoying what we created. It's super hard to describe this experience. If you've seen Maze Runner, you know how they make you forget everything before you go in the maze, but yet you had an existence before. It felt like that. The nature of reality teased us and slightly withdrew, and we saw our friends and this earth for what it could truly be for a brief moment in time. I heard a story of a man who experienced something similar, where at random times he also would tap into this outside reality whilst being sober. He came up with a theory that human consciousness and our brains can act like needles finding the groove on a vinyl record. Once we tune into it specifically and find ourselves in this groove, music can be played, or in other words, we can start experiencing some fascinating things. Are you sure you didn't listen to David Icke? Because he often says, consciousness, radio frequencies, tapping at like different radio stations and then seeing different things. Phone disappeared into thin air when I dropped it. The title explains it. I dropped my phone in the kitchen, and when I looked to grab it off the floor, it wasn't there. I heard it hit the floor, couldn't find it. It was in the middle of the room too. There was no way it could have gone more than 3 feet away from me. I checked under everything and went through the entire house looking for it, and it was gone. I had my mum call my phone, and it said the line was disconnected. I checked the Find My iPhone app, and it said it couldn't find my phone because it didn't have a signal. That was 4 years ago and we still haven't found it. It's like it hit the ground and immediately disappeared afterwards. My man lagged so hard his phone clipped through the map. The bit about not being able to call or find my phone is actually terrifying. I'm guessing it fell into a really obscure location and the battery fell out. Yeah, it fell out into a really obscure location like the next dimension. There's something that I kept thinking about recently, and I'm not sure if this is a thing that actually happened, that some physics professor at a university begins his semester by explaining that there's a slight chance if he runs into a wall. And I'm butchering this, so what I'm saying is probably so incorrect. Something about his atoms could come apart and rematerialize on the other side of the wall. There's like a 1 in a billion chance doing it. So every semester he runs into the wall and never goes through it, but there's a chance. Something like that. Maybe that happened to the phone. Strangest thing happened yesterday. Brackets, insane. Sounds like a YouTube video. Yesterday I decided to drive to the mall. The one I go to is massive. It's circular, you can drive around it. It has a massive car park on one side, so it all seems normal on my way to the mall with my girlfriend, who's still in shock as I am, TBH. We haven't really spoke about it since. So as we get there, it looks really quiet. There's about 10 cars there, so I'm questioning whether or not it's open, which is really these run-on sentences. That's the glitch in the Matrix, dude. Have you heard of full stops? Which is really weird. So we drive around the other side to see what is going on. There's a few people about and a few cars, but nothing. So we decided to go around the back to the first side where we normally park, and our plan is to walk to the entrance and see what's up. This is where it gets weird. As we pull up around the other side again, the whole car park is full. There's literally people walking about everywhere, people sat outside having coffee. There was even 2 ambulances. So very, very weird. Me and my girlfriend were unbelievably shocked. We were speechless. We literally sat in the car for 10 minutes trying to get our head around it, and I haven't felt right since. And the time difference of driving around is about 2 minutes. It would have been physically impossible for all them cars and people to get there and be empty. What happened? I'd love to hear your thoughts. It might help me feel like I've gone a bit crazy. I think the NPCs didn't load in time. Final one. I died, but I'm still here. Okay, to start off this story with, I'm a 23-year-old male with a moderately fast sports car. And when I got it, I used to drive fast and have fun on the highways of Atlanta all the time. I got my license there and travelled 66 miles a day for work. Anyway, this one night at approximately 10:30 p.m, I was on the I-20 intersection 20? Coming from Lithuania and driving back through Atlanta to my house. I remember I was doing 90 miles an hour in the lane next to the fast lane, second lane from the left on a 4-lane highway, and there was a semi-truck maybe 3 or 4 feet in front of me to the lane to my right. There's a big difference between 4 feet and 400 feet. There are multiple cars in the fast lane to my left, like 2 ahead and 1 parallel to me. Suddenly one of the cars to my left just starts getting over on me, like completely cutting me off. I know I was speeding, but in my head I'm like, they're about to kill me. I'm in between the semi-truck to my right, he's parallel, and the car to my left is about to run into me. He was so close that I expected my body to hit where his gas cap was placed in his car. At this point, look at my speedometer and I'm doing 90 like I said. I screamed out loud, the loudest I ever screamed. I'm an army vet, by the way. I literally shrieked, squeezed my eyes shut and braced myself for the lethal impact. I wouldn't say my whole life flashed before my eyes, but a significant amount of memories and decisions I'd made flooded my mind. They appeared like pictures, and after what felt like minutes, but surely was only less than a second or two, I opened my eyes, and I was doing 110 miles an hour in the fast lane, farthest left lane. Alive and genuinely confused and scared. I got off on the next exit, threw up and passed out in my car. I don't understand how I'm alive. I died right there. My car is fast, but not fast enough to avoid a collision in that situation. I guess the universe wants me alive for some reason. Well, I mean, we all like to think that about ourselves, don't we? But I'm certain I died there. I faded out of consciousness, everything went black, I was hemorrhaging from a miscarriage, and I was so weak I told myself I wasn't ready to go. My life has been so different since then. I too believe that's one of the main instances where I died. We're eternal, this is all an illusion. I'm sure there'll be several more deaths to come, even if they're only symbolic of the cycle, life, death, life. This resonates. I hope not. I hope not. I've had enough of this. I'm still young and I feel like I've been here for a million years. Anyway, that's all for this video. I hope you enjoyed. That was looking at the subreddit Glitch in the Matrix. I will do more Reddit videos when and if I fancy. A big thank you to Ray Shadow Legends for sponsoring today's video yet again. Follow me on Instagram and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!